Hello, and welcome to Focus. I'm your host, Vernon Bolling. We have a very exciting show for you planned today. So I would suggest you get your pencils, your paper, or your computer, whatever you take your notes with, because there's something that we're going to talk about that you're going to find extremely interesting. So once again, don't touch that remote. We're going to be right back with more when Focus continues.
Are you seeing this Powerball jackpot? It's a good day to be a jackpot chaser, my friends. Oh, man, I'm so jealous of whoever wins this thing.
Jackpot Chasers.
What would you do if you had to choose between the buffalo and the giraffes? Between a flower or an elephant? What would you choose? What if you had to decide between a 100-year-old tree and a 1,000,000-year-old beach? Between drinking clean water or breathing clean air? Would you make the right choice? Would there be a right choice? Now there's a way to help. Not just one, but all these things. EarthShare, the world's leading environmental groups working together. It's one choice we can all live with. Ask your employer about workplace giving.
You're watching Focus, and now back to Fatimah Halim in Phoenix.
Thank you, Vernon. A lot of people are turning to natural medicine for healing. They're realizing that sometimes the medicines that we are used to taking is really not doing us that much good, and sometimes it does more harm than good. So what do you do if you really want to make some changes in your health, but you want to do it naturally? Well, fortunately, there are a lot of resources out here for us. As a matter of fact, I'm right here, right now, at the Apothecary, which is part of the Phoenix Natural Medicine and Detox Center. I'm here with the owner, Gayle, and we're going to talk just a little bit, because we don't have a lot of time to talk about all the things we can talk about. But we're going to talk about natural healing. With me is Gayle, owner of the Phoenix Natural Medicine and Detox Center, right on 3rd Avenue in Roosevelt, right in Central Phoenix. And I'm really excited because I'm always looking for herbs. And here we are in the Apothecary, which is part of the Phoenix Natural Medicine Center. And we have all of the herbs that we could possibly even want. Yeah. So, but I need to know a little bit more about the herbs and a little bit more about you. So welcome to our show.
Oh, thank you very much.
What made you do this? Why did you start this?
Oh, Fatimah, this is a long time dream of mine. I've been an herbologist for years. I studied in Washington, and one of the reasons I wanted to start this is that I wanted people to be able to take control of their health and to have their own resources. And so part of the reason for going back to school to learn all the herbs is I wanted to be able to educate people on how they can take care of their families, their children. And a lot of times the doctors of the 50s and 60s would say, you know, go home and do an enema, and they used a lot of the herbs that are in the jars here. So that was my interest for wanting to bring herbs to the downtown Phoenix area.
So now I'm looking at all of these absolutely wonderful herbs, and then some of them are familiar and some of them are not familiar. Mm-hmm. I remember one time I used to know what they were all for, but I'm so glad that I'm here. I'm helping you out every now and then, so that I can really refresh myself on some of the herbs. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at some of these herbs, and some of these things we find in our kitchen. Yes. Like turmeric, for example. You bought the turmeric, you have capsules here, and then you have your regular turmeric. Why turmeric? What else other than cooking and making rice yellow can we use turmeric for?
Turmeric is excellent for inflammation in the body. I mean, it's really excellent. A lot of cancer patients use turmeric. People are cooking with it, and it comes from India. And so a lot of times people don't realize that if you're putting turmeric in, you're helping to get the inflammation out of your body. It's a great remedy for boosting your immune system and just building up your system.
So what's the difference between this turmeric and the turmeric we buy at one of the
This is
grocery
organic.
stores? This one is organic.
It is organic.
And there's a difference because in organic there's no pesticides.
That's
there's
exactly right.
nothing. So it's a much healthier turmeric. So how would you prepare this other than in a capsule? What would you do?
Some people prefer to take it in a capsule because it can stain, but a lot of times I throw a teaspoon in a lot of things I'm cooking. You can put it in some milk and put a little bit of ginger. You can put a little bit of cinnamon or some nutmeg in there, and you can warm it up. You can drink it that way. People put it in their rice. You know, they put it in stews. They put it in just most of your dishes because it doesn't really have a strong taste. So it's very good.
So that's really interesting that we're using these things every day, and these things are in our kitchen, and we don't even know sometimes the health benefits of them. So this is really good to know. Now we have here echinacea. Now everybody knows. Well, now everybody doesn't know, but a lot of us use echinacea when we have colds, when we get sick. Why did you feel that you needed to bring echinacea out as an option out of all of these herbs? You bought this one
because it's cold and flu season right now, and I know that we just had a little boy that was in here last week with whooping cough. And so what we did was we got the echinacea out, we got some elderberry, we got some blackstrap molasses, we got some honey, and we had a great time. We cooked this up overnight in the crock pot, and we made a wonderful syrup made out of the echinacea, the elderberry, and these are old-fashioned remedies.
And the wild cherry bark.
And the wild cherry bark, right.
Because these, wild cherry bark is what was used in cherry cough syrup.
That's exactly
long time ago. Of course, now it's mostly chemicals that people were feeding their children. But this is a much healthier route.
Very healthy, and that mother called us back the next day and thanked us because her son quit coughing.
Really?
Yeah.
And whooping cough is nothing to play with.
No, not at all.
Oh my goodness. And so I see a mortar and pestle.
Right.
Yeah, mine is a little smaller and a little woodier. So why do you use a mortar and pestle?
Because we're trying to grind things up. A lot of times it calls for a powder form, and some things, like we had some cat's claw and we needed to powder it up. So old-fashioned herbalist, and that's what we use.
Now, I was talking to a friend yesterday who has a garden, an herb garden. Of course, now it's getting cold, and the herbs are dying off, or they'll come back. And he was telling me, instead of me going to the store and buying basil, because I use a lot of basil in my cooking, then I need to just go buy the basil herb, which is what I'm going to do, and I can just grow my own basil, and it won't go bad as quickly. What do we have here? What do you have here?
This is lemon balm, and he's right, because we do. I mean, herbs grow. They're fairly easy to grow, and a lot of times you can just go out there. I mean, you have your own garden. You don't have the herbicides and the pesticides on them, but the basil grows rampant, and the thyme, and the lemon balm, and the cat balm. You know,
what do we use lemon balm for? And this is catnip, right? That's
catnip.
Okay,
right.
So what do we use these for?
And this one actually is used to calm people down. It's used for a lot of babies with colic. You know, there's just a lot of things that you can use cat balm for, or catnip. It's not just for cats. It's mostly for stomach aches and to calm your nerves down.
And this is the lemon balm. What are you using the lemon balm for?
Use the lemon balms. I use it in a lot of salves and ointments that we make. It just calls for that. A lot of it, you know, when in the dried form, it works really well.
So now we have there are certain I would think